Hello, YouTube viewer. This is your chosen, or you're chosen, whichever you prefer. Okay, so I decided to get on my channel because I wanted to discuss in my mind, right? I'm sitting up here thinking about what other topics can I talk about on my channel. And I'm going to be real with you. These are real topics, but are they genuinely something that I personally should be discussing on my platform? And I had to think about that. I had to take a good long look at what's getting seen and what's not getting seen, which I already knew. But something is compelling me to talk about something else. And I want to do a little brief story of my life. Because you never know if someone has been through this before or is going through it. And for a while, guys, I was hiding this because I was embarrassed. I was in a DV situation, which for a while I was embarrassed to talk about. I was embarrassed for myself. And I'm on my channel pretending like my own situation don't stink. But it did. And finally, today was the day where something inside of me, maybe it was the Holy Spirit, but it told me, you need to talk about this. This needs to be out to the world. You are protecting someone that hurts you still. But when you bring it out to the forefront, you never know who you can help, who is going through that same troubles. And while I was with this person for so long, I always used to get these tremors in my stomach. Like they weren't right for me, but I still stayed. Let me tell you something. That is nothing but the Holy Spirit. That is nothing but your discernment. If you are in the midst of being in a relationship where it does not make you grow, it is not a reflection of who you are as a person, it doesn't need to be there. Because relationships mimic who you are, and it makes you feel good because it lets you know you are a good person to them. But relationships that are self-absorbed and for self, they don't get the type of love you think is being that you think they're getting. That's why most men and women, when they're in certain relationships that do not work, right? They get mad at their partner for reflecting the bad. There's good and bad in every one of us, right? But when you're in a relationship with someone who is covering who they are down to the depth of them, to the pit of them, the love that I gave them, right? I should have kept it and given it to myself and left and continued to give it to myself because I needed it more than I needed to give to them. You understand? God does not waste a hurt. You can be a you can be a testimony to show that God's grace and God has mercy. See, I could have gotten pregnant. I could have had a kid by them. And would my circumstances change if a child was brought into my world? When you think about it, when people are in DV situations, when they are in situations in relationships that the parent and the mother, the father and the mother don't live together, there is no type of income in the home, and there is no love. Because sometimes love for another individual is what they can get and what they are and financially only. They have nothing to give to you, but they all want to take from you. relationships are give and take, right? But most relationships with men who are DV men and abusers, they tend to only get and gain relationships that work and benefit for them. It's always one-sided. People who are narcissists and they get into relationships always will be one-sided. I just wanted to say, because I know I flip-flop a lot during conversations because I have a lot on my mind. So I might just go from one thing and say it next. But try your best, to put everything together. But I say that God never wastes a hurt. What you go through is your strength and testimony for you, and only for you. For you to realize what you've been through and how strong and the strength. And I realized that not my strength alone, but the strength that empowers me, that is within me. And of women who go through DV situations should never be afraid or shield the man that does it, because you don't heal yourself when you are covering up your situation. So I got on here today to just mention that and say that to somebody who's going through that. You need to get out of it if you're still in it, because those people never change. And understand that I hear a lot of women saying what I used to say. Well, it's been years. I've invested, uninvested, start investing in yourself. Because you get one self, you don't get another. And if I had a child and my child was going through that, I would hate to see that for her. You got to think about yourself. While these men or women who do it are thinking about themselves alone, you got to think for you too. You are as important as they are. Their mammies failed them. Not to a certain degree either. They completely failed them in this life. So they go on raising kids, bringing up kids, having kids, where the same patterns resonate. When a person who's a narc, who goes from relationships to relationships, and they don't never give themselves no time to heal, the odds of them creating them same situations are high. It will happen. So you saying, I don't want to leave because I've invested so much of my life. Well, invest in yours and do something right in yours and heal yourself in yours. And you can never fail yourself. I don't care what nobody say. You can never fail you. Any choices that you make are made because you chose them. So you never fail you. But when you don't leave and you stay in situations that hurt you, they don't build you, they don't make you feel good, they don't make you feel worthy, they do not make you feel beautiful, then you are failing yourself. And anything that God has for you will be stopped. Imagine a train track, because I keep seeing this image of a train track, okay? I'm an empath person. So a lot of what I speak of and go through is all imagery. It's all what I feel, and I can see it. Imagine a train track being made in your life. Your life is the tracks. And at some point, as the train is choo-chooing along, the tracks stop at a certain destination. That's a chapter of your life where it was unwritten. It's not written no more. It's a pause. Because you're in a situation where God does not want you in. So God cannot move you further in your destination, in your destiny, in your real place. Because the people that are traveling with you do not deserve a seat in your life. And it was really hard for me to believe that at some point or see that. But every time I get this imagery of that, It lets me know how true it is. Some people don't need a seat into your life. Their time expired. Now, it doesn't matter who they're with or who they're going to get and who they found. And if it seemed like they are, and it don't matter what they got going on. What matters is what you got going on. And we as people focus too much of what the next person got going on, that we can't get what we got going on for us, for the betterment of us. When we leave situations that are not for us, do you know that you continue to blossom? Not because you, and not go to another person either, but you blossom within. Because what you give in that relationship with somebody, whatever, all the love that you gave, all the time that you gave, all the years that you gave, do you not know that that's you giving that? It ain't coming from nowhere else but you. What they're going to get from somebody else is another person's individuality, not your own personality, not your own soul, not your own spirit, not your own person, your individual self. Souls are individual people. We are all just soul beings walking on this earth with purpose. And we got to live in that purpose. And sometimes God, he or she puts a pause, a period right there. Your story doesn't end, but it's a pause from now till you get out of something that's making your life stop. It's not a man, it's not, and a woman, and a relationship is not the end all to be all to your life. It is not what makes life important. You know what makes life important? How you act in this world, how you treat people into this world. And the thing about men and women who have kids and they are narcissists and they are abusive and they don't care, these people end up having multiple women and multiple baby daddies and multiple baby mamas and having all these kids that financially they can't take care of, emotionally they can't, and they're only going to upbring and raise them the same way that they were raised, on the same merits and principles. If you know you got a good heart, and you know that anything that comes from you flourishes, it got love in it, nothing but it. You know that. So you got to live knowing that. You have to move on knowing that you've moved on with yourself. There ain't no love, have never been no love there attached for you to feel that you did anything wrong. When you start healing the right way is when you start giving back to yourself the good way. That's when you start healing. See, all the love that you gave to them, all that feel good love, you give it all to you so that you can blossom to be the beautiful flower, to be the beautiful person on the inside, and let them figure things out on their own, or seek therapy or seek professional help. Because anybody that's got to put their hands on a woman is a coward. They got life effed up, and their mamas failed them in life. No matter what, they failed them. They failed to talk to them, to be in their life, to tell them how it is to treat a woman. They failed them in all those aspects. And that doesn't come from another woman. You may think that. You may think that if you do for him, if you do and treat him right, and he sees that you are treating him right, that he's going to do the same. No, he's expecting of it. He's not going to change and do right by you. He's expecting of that. He expects that as long as he's in your life, he's benefiting from that. And being with somebody is not monetary. Love is not a monetary thing. So if you're with somebody that expects that, men are supposed to be men. Men are the doers of this world. And they want to switch it up because a lot of these men want to get the princess treatment and not be a prince so they can treat the princess right. They want to be princesses themselves. That's the world that we are living in today. Because these fathers failed their children. These mothers are failing their kids. That's not how things are. That's not how it works. Oh well, women want to be equivalent to men. And even if a woman felt that way, she should know that deep down inside she's never equivalent to a man, because a man was made to use his hands and a woman was made to be what she is. No matter what they say, it's still going to go back to the Bible, or what man purpose always were. That's why we struggling so much, because we never try to put a man in his place, and rightfully so, and keep him in that place. A woman could work for sure. She should, if she's capable of. But majority of the time, women get sick. Women get things happen to them. Women get periods. Women, go through a lot that a man doesn't have to go through. And for a man to not be understanding, when you get into a relationship with somebody, you want it to be with a man that can understand you and not judge you, but help you. Be there for you. Stand on his stand on his toes, his 10 toes, and help you. Stand on his. If he can't, then he is not a man, and he's not the man for you. And you got to leave so that you can be the woman you need to be and heal, so you could be the best woman that you need to be for somebody else that deserves it. Because when you stay and you stick around somebody that don't deserve you, you miss out on somebody that is deserving of you, that needs that kind of love and that kind of understanding for you in your life. And you miss out when you sit there and continue to put that period in your life. Make that choo-choo train keep going. Train don't stop. Life don't stop because people are assholes. It hurts. It's grief. Let yourself feel that. You need to feel the grief. You need to feel the hurt. There's people walking around on this earth. They haven't given them no space time to heal, and they jump into other relationships so quickly that same relationship from 20 years ago they're carrying onto that new person, because they never tried to grieve. They only got rebounds after rebounds after rebounds. They never tried to get help. So understand this. God doesn't waste your hurt. What you go through is a testimony in this life for somebody else who is going through it or needs to hear it, that it is not impossible to overcome it. I am God's testimony. I am God's soldier in strength. He who strengthens me gives me the strength that I can move on, and I can find love, and I can be with somebody that's going to love me unconditionally. That is my kind. You know what I'm saying? That's my person that is going to love me and nourish me that. And guess what? So that I can be that reflection to him as well, and show him that this is what you are to me and how you are to me, not through gift giving, through spirit connection. And you'll feel it, because it's emotionally. It's emotions that's guiding you, that guides you. It's your spirit that connects with each other, that guides you emotionally, that keeps you there with that person. That's supposed to be for you, is what I mean. Not a person that's not gonna be for you, because it's noticeable. Your body starts doing things. Maybe your heart might be racing. Love make my heart race. That could be a sign too. That could be the wrong thing. It could be flutters in your stomach. Something doesn't feel right. That's discernment. Use it to get out of something that's not for you. We never know what the future may bring. These kids need to realize one thing and one thing only. These children grow up to be adults, just like you and me. What adult are they going to grow up to be? Okay? Look at it that way. Don't feel no other way around that. What adult are you going to raise? Are you emotionally intelligent? Are you a nurturing person? then you will be a great mom or a great father if you are. But if you don't have those things, then you are only going to inbreed in your children and instill in them only what you know. And if you got a parent that haven't taught you shit, that didn't know shit, then they can't give you shit. So these men who create these kids are only embedded in them what they know, which is that ain't shit. And they grow up to be adults who ain't shit. Treating people's kids and daughters, dusties, like they ain't shit, right? That's what we fail to realize in this life that we are living in, that we got to do right by our people. We got to do right by ourselves and treat each other good, because our kids will grow up being serial killers or psychopaths or other crazy things. They grow up to be adults that cannot help their emotions because it was never instilled in them how to act, how to be nurturing, nourishing. You want a man that has his own, that wants to provide for his own household, I'm talking about. Not co-parenting. Because co-parenting is some bullshit. If God ever stopped you from having a baby by somebody, don't keep trying. Because 9 times out of 10, that is your blessing to not have tried. I know people who try to do IVF and try to have kids with a man that God said no to, and they end up getting a divorce, and it doesn't end up working for them. If God is saying no, it's for a reason. Let God say yes to another person that is the reason, season, and everything else in your life that will bring to you nothing but abundance. Let God say yes to everything that is complete. If you know you deserve complete, not something that's half-assed. And I got on here to say this because that's what I was dealing with. Abuse for 7+ years. Until I realized that I come first, that I am of nothing but love, and they're not going to take my love that I have given to them to give it to somebody else and withhold and give that love that I've been giving them and hold it inside until that person comes right along and give it to them. Let them be exactly who they need to be in this world for the people who they really need to give it to and be. Don't stop it from happening, because you do yourself a disservice. Let it happen for the people that they think love them, or that they think is of love, and that they think wants them and cares for them. Let them have that attachment, so that they stay far away from a person that is of all those things and more. Remember, God never wastes a hurt. Never. This is your story. It's not the end or be all to your life. It's just a reflection of what you got to do that's better. It's a lesson learned in your life. And be grateful that God still has you here, that you are still alive, that you are not dead and gone, that you are protected and kept by God's grace and mercy. And I thank you guys for listening so much to this. I really needed to get that all out there, because it's a lot of people in this world that's going through that is hiding behind these abusers. No, expose and tell your story. You never know who has been through that needs to get out. Get out. It doesn't change. Please get out. Do right to yourself spiritually. You deserve it. You deserve everything that's of good, that is of love. And may God bless you guys and give you everything that you need in abundance, that you need, not that you want, but what's needed for you, so that you can fulfill your purpose in this life. Take care, guys. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. And please, it's free. Do it for me. Thank you. Bye-bye.